Hello viewers, India laga education system de itia controversies kan bishula ase. Neet 2026 paper leak pa lugina itia Cbse class 12 revolution process oppordewi issues kan bishula ase. So it students kan system laga oporde khushi na pa do bishi dikese bishi students pra protest kan krese. Aru idu sob laga oporde students kan ba suicide kra laga cases kan bi bishula ase. So aji ami alode ekta very special guest ase Mr. Avinash Konwar tai Cbse teacher laga 14 years experience ase. So viewers I will tage idu sob controversies laga upor de I will olop huda udi kursavo. Sir, first of all thank you apni mahangi time dia karne. So itia Cbse laga controversies kan bishi jase technical glitches naliwi idu payment failure idu kan ulase so it laga upor de apni laga olop mahangi olop opinions kan ko parvo.
Okay. So first of all, the entire fiasco started because Cbse thought of implementing something new. So the idea was nice actually, right? The idea was nice, the idea was like a very futuristic. But the problem was the way they dealt with the entire situation. The system was called OSM, on-screen marking. So basically what happens during paper checking is that once the student has written all the papers, it all gets bundled up, it goes to certain head offices. In those head offices, teachers from various parts of the country, they will come over there. Physically, they will check all the papers one by one manually. And it's not like only one teacher will check the paper. There will be 2 to 3 sets of teachers who will be verifying the paper, checking the paper, and the entire process goes on very smoothly. This time Cbse wanted to copy the idea of how the CA papers are graded. Now see, there is a big difference between how CA, which is a very high level exam, and Cbse, which compared to CA is not of that caliber, right? So if you are trying to copy the idea of CA exam and trying to implement it into Cbse, it is destined to be a failure because of the sheer number of students that is available. This year, around 98 lakh copies were graded. 98 lakh copies is not a joke. And out of 98 lakh copies graded, what they did was that they took one copy, they scanned the entire copy, converted it into PDF, and they gave this PDF to the teachers one by one. The teacher will open the computer, the paper will come in front of them online. They just have to click the left button and the right button. Accordingly, marks will turn up. Now here comes the problem. When the scanning was being done, since it is technology, obviously technological glitches will be there. There were many copies which were not scanned properly. First thing. Second thing, when you are taking some extra papers, apart from the main sheet, if you take supplementary papers, there were many instances where the supplementary papers itself were missing. So those papers, those marks were not graded in the final marks that was being counted. Thirdly, when the results came out, now it is a very common norm that Cbse, which is Central Board of Secondary Education, when we compare Cbse with other boards such as Cbse, that's from Assam, or Bihar Board of Secondary Education, or any other state board, Cbse is considered relatively easy because of the way the answers are graded. I have been teaching for almost 14 years, and I think as a teacher and as a good teacher, our responsibility or our motive is not to fail the student. If we are challenging the student that then I don't think we are doing our duty nicely. My duty as a teacher is to pass the student. Doesn't mean that if the student has written some or the other loads of all this story and we are passing them, no. But if something is related to the topic, it is my duty as a teacher to make sure that he gets at least half marks in that. Failing the student is going to hamper their entire career. It is going to hamper their entire future also. Moreover, class 12 is not the end of the life. We all know the way employment is right now. Less than 10% or less than 15% of the entire youth population is employed right now. Those people have done masters, those people have done bachelors, those people have done PhD. Now, what is the point of making the students fail in class 12 itself by bringing new things which is not at all helpful for the students? It neither benefited the students nor it benefited the teachers. The only thing it brought up is a lot of backlash, and which started like a spark and it turned out into an entire big forest of fire like that.
Yeah. Man, social media we bishi dikhe many students they are protesting. They are saying the unexpected marks because of the new digital evaluation system, it OSM koina. So students can be sure protest crazy, and then technical glitches can be sure say payment failures can be sure say those students can ita be upset huna say. So do you think itu problems ra itu India laga education system laga deeper flows can expose crazy?
Obviously, it's 100%. I can vouch for that our entire system is flawed. Okay, that doesn't mean we don't have good things. We have many good things also, and all the bad things that are coming up, it's all because of the fact that we neglect and we do not give the right thing to the right people. Just take an example. The entire Cbse exam, the software that was being created for the OSM, everything was given to a company called CoM.
Yes.
Okay. Now, CoM itself was one of the blacklisted companies. In the year around 2020 or 2021, in Hyderabad, CoM had conducted a lot of technical difficulties. Due to this, more than 13 people committed suicide. Students, they have committed suicide because they got very less marks due to the same CoM which has made, who got the tender of Cbse exam this year. So, why did CoM get this tender in the first place? That is all government bidding. We don't have anything to say about it. But me as a teacher, I am bound to say that a lot of injustice was done to my own students, to the students who were not mine also. But the marks that they should get, they are not getting. And it is creating a lot of problem for the future. Take one example. In JEE, which is Joint Entrance Examination, it is an examination conducted for engineering. A student who has got 98 percentile, 99 percentile in JEE, getting 98 percentile in JEE is not a joke. You have to be extremely smart to get that. The same person is not even crossing 60% in physics, chemistry, maths combined. And JEE has a rule that unless and until you get 75%, you cannot get into an engineering college. So the entire life of that person is gone. He had worked so hard. He had tirelessly worked so hard. Meticulously he had studied. He gave his everything day in and day night. Now, after clearing JEE with such high marks, he is not even clearing his Cbse exams. Imagine the mental trauma the student must be facing right now. Leave the mental trauma, societal pressure. No matter how much we say that we have developed, India has become a developed country. Let's talk about Nagaland. We say that we are so much inclined towards South Asian culture. We are so much inclined about other places' culture. But ultimately, deep down, we all have the same Indian mindset. If we are doing bad, the entire society will put the blame on the student only. They will not look whether it is OSM, they will not look whether it is the school's fault, whatever fault. Student la galti ase kobo. No one even will try to understand kili itu bachcha to kili iman komti marks paise. Iman bhal likhe tai. In the pre-boards, the student has got 90 marks out of 100. In the final exam, he is getting 20 out of 100. How can that be possible? So all of this started with OSM, again ended with OSM as well.
Also, one news headlines to be Cbse la controversies bi ulase, but recently Neet laga paper leak bi ushe. So nearly 23 lakh students kan do ithange affect kushe. Our students kan sashule tahan la time, energy sob sacrifice kurina itu exam kan kani prepare kore. Aru itu exam kan do like tahan la life te ekta very important tahan laga life te like tahan la future shape korle bishi important exam ase. So apni life sab te ita itu controversies nali na problems kan lawa students kan itu mala system law they trust to lose hase apni life sab te kina feel
Kalina make the YouTube take that. I was watching your YouTube video, okay? So they were showing a data. Would you believe in the past decade, 10 years, 75 paper leaks have been done till now. 75 paper leaks.
Okay.
That includes everything, including SSC, Neet exam, and all the other state level small exams also. Na? Right now, we have only we are only talking about Neet exam. SSC GD constable exam was being conducted a while ago. That is the leak hoise paper. Neet la to leak hoise. Cbse laga problem ulaise. CUET laga te bhi problem ulaise. How? CUET the what happened? CUET is a common university entrance test where students give the exam so that they can get into the BSc, BA into reputed colleges. Suppose I am a person who stays in Dimapur. I have applied the exam from Dimapur. My center has been given 300 kilometers away in Itanagar. How is that fair? If I'm sitting here as a student, why to give trouble to the student? So education department, right? They are taking the things very lightly. Till date, they are defending this OSM. They are saying that OSM was very good for everything. Like I said, the idea was extremely good. If it can be implemented properly, our country will become second to none when it comes to the digital examination, right? But the way it was conducted so rashly, the teachers were not even given time to practice properly. They were not even given time to train themselves properly. There are many teachers who do not have proper eyesight. How can that person see what is there in the computer screen, right? If in the screen the person is there were certain scenarios in which in MCQ the person got half mark. A MCQ question to 1 mark laga thake to. MCQ is either right or wrong to. Tate apni half mark na pabo. So it's because manu khan par sabo pada nai to irbai na hoise. So in our Korea say there were certain scenarios like when you talked about the paper payment submission, right? Many students have submitted more than 1,000 rupees for one single paper. Till now, the student doesn't even know whether their money was deducted. Yes, their money was deducted from the bank, but they did not get any slip. They did not get any of the scanned papers. And they are still in dilemma whether they passed or not, whether like tai khan pass hoishina hua nai na jane. Tai khan laga paper ketia ahibo itu bhi na jane, re-evaluation ta khan koribo paribo na paribo itu bhi na jane. So right now the interview also that we are conducting, right, we are all in a very big question mark right now. We are not judging the system, okay? We are not kina koy ami kan system beya ase kwa no hoy. Hoile bi system ke bhal pra planning kori na implement korise koile sob parties karne bhag hole da. It was done very rashly and very harshly.
Okay, तो अपनी लाइफ सबते इंडिया लगा एजुकेशन सिस्टम दे की changes kan anu lagi अपनी लाइफ सबते.
First of all, today we are living in a AI world, right? Everywhere we talk about AI, and audience ke bhi to koi dibole mon de ami de. When we talk about AI doesn't mean ChatGPT, Gemini alone, okay? There are more than hundreds of different AI tools are there. I feel like every school should have mandatory AI workshop. That should be the first step. So that like all these question paper making and all things, from the childhood level, students should know in what way things can be done. Secondly, things should be transparent.
Okay.
If the education department of India is implementing something, proper training should be given to the teachers. Before that, proper training should be given to the head of the schools. Then the training should be given to the students. There should be a step-by-step process. It should not be like overnight. Okay, tonight onwards you will have a 3-language policy, something like that. That shouldn't happen overnight. There should be a step-by-step process. Then only in the bottommost level, that is the students, they can handle everything very efficiently, like that.
Okay.
So it should be in a proper level.
Alright. So it students can actually do so manu bishi stressed thage because of all these problems.
100%.
Tahan mental health be affect re. So in a time de educational institutions can be students can get in such stress can nali students can bishi tahan marks can nali na exams can karni bishi stress thage. So educational institutions can ba students can get in a mental stress pa kina protect korle paro apni la opinions.
this is a very typical question, okay? Not typical question. I mean, this is a very hard question to answer. Me as a teacher I have been teaching for 14 years, right? Till now, I have not seen the education system of India change. It is the same mark based only. If you are a good student, you will be placed in the top level of the society. If you are a bad student, you will be placed in the bottom level of the society. These things should change at first. Especially the teachers, instead of celebrating the toppers' marks, they should go to the students who have failed and they should console them. They should give them suggestion how they can overcome this thing in a better way. Bhal students can to bhal marks ani bole ase. Right? Bhal student to bhal marks ani bo. Takhanla photo newspaper te ahi bole ase. Bia students khan Jun khan ki kun prabi tai khanla nijor la parents khan prabi care no kore ki tahan ki ahi bole ase. Tai khan ki jai kina school management, counselor, teachers sob khan mili kina bari tai kare buchabo lage. And one more appeal I want to do to all the parents of Nagaland now. This thing has been going on since the childhood level, okay? There is a very common saying that Naga students are bad in maths. And I will tell you because I have heard it a million of times. Please do not demotivate your children from the childhood itself. Apna bacha maths te biya no hoy. Tai laga dimag bhi mane same ase jun to mainland India laga dimag ase bacha la dimag ase. If you are motivating the child from childhood itself, hoy apni to maths te bhal no hoy. Then downward hoy kina tai hossa bhi maths te bhal na thaki hotai. Because it has already been engraved in their brain. So the main duty of the teacher starts from the primary level. Primary teachers should be ekdam solid teachers khan thakibo lage who knows and who can understand the mental well-being of the students. Second thing, we all talk a lot about IQ, right? Every student should have a better IQ. They should be smart. They should be extrovert. They should be like good in games and everything. No one talks about EQ. EQ is emotional quotient, right? So in schools, along with boosting IQ readiness, they should also boost EQ readiness. So IQ along with EQ, I feel like it should be mandatory for every school to conduct psychometric tests. So that they understand where their student lies. If the student is, like for example, a particular student is very empathetic, like bishi soft ase tai de, to tai ke apni engineering kori bhi koi na ko labh nahi to. From childhood itself, according to their personality, those type of courses should be curated for the students. So proper curation of courses should be there. Then later on, they will not face this kind of disappointment. Student jun maths te bhal nai, jun science te bhal nai, tai khan ke pressure dikna eko labh nai. Just because society wants, yet in a place like Nagaland, science is considered all of upper level de. But actually there is no such thing. Now you have graduated, I have graduated, everyone else has graduated. We know the world. Once you grow up, everything is same. Unless you are smart, you are like an extrovert, you are smart, you can talk properly, you have good oration skills. There is no like apni job pabo le beshi dukh pabo. So there is no point of you studying science or you studying arts like that. So nijola personality development bhi beshi important ase ajila din de. So schools should have this psychometric test. They should have personality development, some type of courses, so that the students can grow accordingly.
Okay, all right. The viewers apna nite Mr. Avinash Konwar ba ko ala honi lishe. Taiba janai dishi ki India laga education system de bishi upgrade aniwo lage kuna janashe, more transparency thagiwo lage kuna janashe, aru taiba bi teachers kando proper training diwo lage kuna janashe. Aru taiba bi kushi ki evaluation process to step by step process thagiwo lage kuna janashe. Aru taiba bi the teachers khange bi appeal kushi ki toppers khange class celebrate nagurigina jun students can fail hoye tahange bi console kuina encourage kuri kuina janai dishe. Aru taiba bi parents khange bi appeal kushi ki nijor la bacha ge encourage kuina motivate kuro lage kuina janaishe. Ita gandi manase. For more news and updates, keep watching Global Window.